I just couldn't come to terms with it. I didn't. It still felt like, it really felt like when I would say, "Oh, like it would, my throat, like I couldn't say it. But now, like I can openly say it and be proud of it. You know what I mean? But it did take a lot of work to get there, and I think that therapy was the number one thing that allowed me to get to that point. Because we worked through it. And we worked through these things and so forth. And there's something really interesting. It's called the Kinsey Scale. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of it.
Can you pull that up?
But the Kinsey Scale is basically the scale of sexuality. So it's on a spectrum, right? So a lot of people claim to be, I guess not claim, but it's all a spectrum. So someone who is gay doesn't necessarily have to be 100% gay. You know what I mean? I can like girls a little bit or whatever the case may be, and so forth. And even with bisexuality and whatnot and so forth, it really just comes down to what you like.
So in a sense, sexuality is not binary.
Yeah,
it's a spectrum.
Yeah, it's a spectrum. It's something that it really.
And where did you get that? Where did you
from my therapist?
Okay.
Basically, it's like your level of gayness. Like, how gay are you? You know what I mean?
Your gay meter.
Yeah, my gay meter, right? So
your gaydar.
Like, where do you feel? Where do you feel like you land? Like, do you feel like you're here,
Kinsey
you're
Scale.
there, you're this, or you're that? And I feel like working through that allowed me to get to the point of realization that, you know what, it's okay for me to like man and to do this and do that, but also like women on the side,
So in creating the scale, the Kinsey team interviewed thousands of people about their sexual histories. Research showed that sexual behavior, thoughts, and feelings towards the same or opposite sex were not always consistent across time. Instead of assigning people to 3 categories, heterosexual, bisexual, and homosexual, the team used a 7-point scale. It ranges from 0 to 6. With an additional category of X.
Yeah.
Oh, so it ranges from 0, which is exclusively heterosexual, to X, meaning no social sexual contacts or reactions.
Yeah. So I'm like,
interesting.
This scale in itself, like, it really put a lot of things into perspective for me, and I feel like this practice or whatever the case may be, because my therapist would have been like, "Where do you think you're at today? Like, do you think you like?"
Oh, she asked you every day,
it was a key.
They?
Not every day, but like on our sessions, like when I would bring up the topic of sexuality, he would ask me like, "Okay,
how you feeling today?"
Yeah, and I would be like, "I don't know. I think I'm into girls a little bit more today than I am."
Really?
Today. Things like that and so forth. And the basis of him doing that really just came down to being like, it's okay for you to like either or. It's okay for you to for this to be a part of you. You know what I mean? So nonetheless, like, through that therapy work.
Wait,
like,
can you keep that up? I want to see what. I'm sorry, Ray.
No worries.
I want to see when they came up with the scale. Like when, like I understand that they researched thousands of.
I think it's 9. No, it's published.
Yeah, because I feel like this 48. Really?
48.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
1948, Alfred Kinsey, Wardell, Pomeroy, and Clyde Martin developed the heterosexual homosexual rating scale, more commonly known as the Kinsey Scale, first published in Sexual Behavior in the Human Male. 1948, the scale accounted for research findings that showed people did not fit into exclusive heterosexual or homosexual. 1948, damn.
Yeah.
That's so interesting because, I mean, they came up with the scale in 1948, and I think it was like in the 70s that they took off homosexuality as a mental illness.
Yeah.
That is fucking wild. It took them like 30